Bitcoin, crypto, all that good stuff. And guess who's going to get involved with it? Progressives sound alarm as Harris courts the crypto industry. Oh, boy. Crypto. No, I'm not talking about Superman's doggo. I'm talking about the cryptocurrency. And there's a lot of things to be said about crypto. I would say be careful if you're going to be investing in it. It could blow up in your face. No pun intended. So Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris increasingly open to embrace the of cryptocurrency during her 2024 bid for the White House has sparked alarm among progressives who pointed to the still nascent industry's pervasive fraud and opposition to regulatory guardrails as all the evidence the vice president should need to end her courtship with of the sector. So this happened. What was going on is Harris debuted her crypto-coded message in remarks to Wall Street donors this past week. The outlet added, her campaign's quiet work with crypto allies indicates that she sees a space to compete on the turf with former President Donald Trump, who this month endorsed a still unclear crypto platform launched by his sons. Folks, listen. All these new crypto things that say that they're different or better than the others, they're quick pump and dumps, okay? No pull out, all pump and dump, and then they leave. Anyone that buys in early, okay, you could quickly buy out, okay? Just because things are going to the moon doesn't mean it's going to go to the moon, all right? And as much as I love diamond hands, folks, you got to be careful out there in the crypto agency. Remember NFTs? Remember all this crap out there? It all comes crashing down. It does. Trump, the Republican presidential nominee, said earlier this week that he believes cryptocurrencies have a great future and suggested the U.S. could pay off the national debt with digital assets. Venture capital billionaires Mark Anderson and Ben Horowitz have donated to Trump's campaign contributions, motivated by areas like crypto and AI regulation. Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, is friendly with the crypto industry and personally owns hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin. I remember the time I could have got Bitcoin. Missed that train. Anyways, Harris, for her part, gave a nod to the cryptocurrency industry during a major economic policy speech in Pittsburgh on Wednesday, saying she wants the U.S. to remain dominant in emerging technologies such as the blockchain. Harris's economic policy platform states that if elected in November, she will encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets while protecting our consumers and investors. Not going to happen. Ain't going to happen. There have been many people been swindled out of crypto, and there's many people being swindled out of this entire economy. No, that's not going to happen. Billionaire investor and outspoken Harris supporter Mark Cuban told the semaphore that he intends to visit Capitol Hill to personally lobby lawmakers on any major crypto bill that gets a vote in the future, whether it's industry favorable or not. Yes, the same Mark Cuban who called Donald Trump a communist. Trump and communism do not mix. Okay? Take that, Trumpers. We covered that on yesterday's show. Now all of you are communists. Now you are a communist. How can this be? When did I get called a communist? First time. In a statement earlier this week, the Revolving Door Project warned that Harris' campaign's acquiescence to crypto could lead to a disaster. The cryptocurrency industry has doggedly pursued its mission to flout long-standing security laws and robust SEC oversight, said Jeff Hauser, RDP's executive director. Weak regulation is crucial to the industry's continued business strategy of serving as a conduit for money laundering, assisting ransomware rings, terrorist organizations, and those importing fentanyl. Oh boy. The industry has defiantly moved past the stench of Sam Bankman-Fried's fraud-banked influence campaign to floor key congressional races with cash, transparent attempt to strong-arm Democrats into acquiescing to their demands, he continued. See, the Democrats want that money. You think the Democrats were so happy to put Sam Bankman-Fried behind bars? He gave them money. That's what they love. Money. They don't care about their voters or constituents, man. Get out of here. A seating would not only set a dangerous precedent that motivated industries can purchase the regulatory framework that best suits their interests, but also open Americans to fraud, increased ransomware, and other illicit behavior pervasive across the cryptocurrency industry. Folks, cryptocurrency industry on federal lobbying surged to an all-time high of $24.7 million in 2023, according to Open Secrets. The cash blitz has continued this year as major digital currency asset players and their congressional allies in both parties fight off regulatory efforts. The industry also spent big on the 2024 election. An analysis released last month by consumer advocacy group Public Citizen found that crypto firms have poured in more than $119 million directly into federal elections so far this year, making them by far the dominant corporate political spenders. Say it with me. What could go wrong? A lot could go wrong. Here's some unusual whales.
But there's some argument to be made that you want this, that actually it would be better if all of this business was happening in the U.S. You talk about an SBF. Obviously, that was taking place in the Bahamas. And, a lot of people were trying to do things in other places. If there was a real regime here that everybody could trust and we had established rules and there weren't these questions about whether you were going to go over the line or you're behind the line, where the line was, would that be better?
I think that we do have those.
So you think those lines exist? Then why do people in the industry say that they don't know what the rules are?
Look, not liking the rules is not the same as that there aren't rules. And I think there's a lot that have profited off of the public's interest in this field, but profited without the proper disclosures. And inherently, there's business models that have a lot of conflicts. And we've seen the results of that time in and time again. Outside of crypto and inside of crypto, we see what happens when there's so inherent conflict. So we've got 90 years of experience with this, Andrew. It works reasonably well. We've got the deepest, most liquid capital markets. We're trying to make them more efficient. What we're doing in the equity markets,
I think
what we're
you're
doing in the
warming
treasury
up
markets.
to top tier crypto. That's my take.
What's that?
I think you're warming up to top tier crypto. I don't think you think it's a monolith. I think you think there might be some actual usage or benefit to top tier crypto. Would you say recently you're evolving to where? Go ahead,
Joe. Where are you on what's called altcoins? There's 15 or 20.
That's what I
where
know.
are you, Joe?
But
Now, notice how these guys are doing this whole speculative and talking back and forth. But the real problem here is that there is a lot of uncertainty. Because on the one hand, I've seen a lot of posts where people look at, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, as their last attempt to get rich. And a lot of people are holding on. A lot of people are trying to really secure themselves a place of security in these very unsecure and uncertain economic times. And when people talk about this back and forth, they're not talking about the real danger of when the music stops. And when the music stops, everybody's going to be holding on to the largest bag of feces ever. There's a crash coming, and we're all going to be hurt by it. And look, I don't want to see it happen. Right? It's one thing to say hey, here's what crypto can do. Here's the security of Bitcoin. And of course, they're buying influence from politicians. I mean, come on, all these cryptocurrency firms doing it? Of course they are. Yes, they are. They're doing it. They're doing it. And you have influencers also peddling their own cryptocurrency. You have even, Donald Trump's sons doing their own cryptocurrency. And I got to tell you, folks, we're due for a big crash. It's going to blow up in everybody's face.
When you came in, you said, that I probably only own Bitcoin, and you act like that's okay for me because I don't own all the garbage. I think you were thinking. So I just get the feel
garbage was your word.
I know, but are you warming up to
word?
Huh?
It was not that kind of a word.
Actually, right. Joe, for the public, used a stronger word than garbage.
I did. But are you warming up to, do you see that it's probably here to stay and something that could be useful?
This is something I said to students 4 and 5 years ago.
I know, but you didn't say it to once you were the SEC chairman.
No. That this field will not long persist without investor protection or consumer protection. Number two, many of these projects, without prejudging anyone, are tapping into the public's interest to raise money. That's the classic securities sort of protections that you put in place. You can decide to go long or short these projects, but you need the disclosures. And as it relates to Bitcoin, my predecessor and I have said that's not a security. You now have a way that you can actually express that view, buy into that through exchange-traded products, traded on NASDAQ, traded on New York Stock Exchange and the like.
Okay, that's a yes. Then.
There's a crash coming. There is a severe crash coming our way. And with Kamala, and yes, even Trump, courting the crypto industry, seeing what is there, we unfortunately are stuck in a spot where so many people are putting their hopes and dreams on it. They're putting everything in on it. And I want everybody to understand this, that there is no recovery if there's another big crash. I mean, so many people are destined to get hurt. And if anyone wasn't paying attention for the great crypto crash way back with FTX and that scandal there's other firms and agencies probably acting the same way too. There's a time bomb. It's not if it's going to explode, but when it does. And it's going to happen. Everything has a beginning, middle, and end. And I want to be a person who is always optimistic. But the fact that we have politicians that are also jumping on board with this, I must promise you, they're going to find a way to get rich too. And then while the rest of us are suffering, they're going to tell us to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap. Trump will be his regular old self saying, oh, we'll fix it. And Kamala will be cackling and laughing, saying, yes, we'll fix it too. Don't you get it? It's a big club. You're not in the club. You're not in the club. You're not in the club.